Even better, at the end of the game, you get to chase down and stop Kevin Spacey from touching everyone inappropriately. How about Toy Story Racer? Another great PS1 game and one of the most underrated car races of all time, if you ask me. With some of the controls that feel exactly like you're messing around with it.
Hello, everybody.
There's my personal favourite, Toy Story 2, which is basically if Mario 64 was thrown into the Toy Story universe with ingenious open levels to explore, tight responsive controls, badass power-ups, tricky challenges, amazing music, and a rapid-fire super laser. Also, Buzz looks like a bloody potato.
Potato.
The other 19 games, though, I've never touched before. So let's touch it. And while we're talking about Toy Story, why don't we start off with the first ever Pixar game that was ever released?
Minnie Mouse.
Infamous for the weird as hell graphics, the uncanny environments, and really weird blocky gameplay. Yeah, I'm going there. It was Toy Story on Game Boy. Yes, remember this one? Toy Story 1 on the Game Boy? We can point.
Sorry, I had to phrase Woody to get.
With silicon graphics computers, but I thought it would be way funnier to play the most primitive video game from Pixar at the time that it was released.
There's Chip.
This is more frightening than any horror game I've ever played. And you know what? I should have just stayed on the menu, because as soon as the game starts, it gets worse. How do you put this diabolical waste onto a game? This is how you do it. If Donkey Kong was played by Tom Hanks and then got run over by a steamroller, you get Toy Story on the Game Boy. Oh my god, this is so rancid that there isn't even a word for it. The controls are really bloody loose as well, but hey, what are we even doing here? Because I don't know. As it turns out, the goal of level 1 is to find a bucket hidden in the stage, open it, and then watch it start shitting. After that, you head off to look for a radio and knock it down to the floor. Oh, hey. You okay there, Ham? This is one of the most mangled things I've ever seen. Why didn't they just do their own art style instead of taking the entire SNES game's graphics and trying to squeeze it all into a creamy toy? Just look at this impressive amount of screen. It's hurting my eyes. Do we need to call child services? Does Andy live in mold? He's controlled. I can't even begin to explain. They're just completely... What? That's it? The level's over? Woody, are you okay? It's got to be ambulance. Anyway, sorry, the control. I know you can't feel the control watching this video, but I'm sure you can get the correct idea by just looking at this thing. This isn't Toy Story, it's alien. It's not just because it's green and black everywhere, it's because we float around so much we must be in space. No one's clear screen. Just you try and do anything in this game. Just you try. Swinging by a grapple, nope. Jumping upwards from platforms, nope. Tiny little generous comfortable balloon, 5 times a launch every toy into a box, nope. And do it just us. What is it that this game? I know not mechanical running information. In fact, all information for this game of bubble. What's going on there? These cars swimming in mid-air. Why is this slave waiting stupidly for me on the bed? As if because I'm these levels go on forever. And look at this. How ridiculous is this? How big is Andy's room? Does he live in one giant corridor? What kind of kid is Andy anyway? Why does he have a million copies of the board game drafts? And why is he obsessed with a single book called The Fishman? Well, whatever kind of kid he is, he's the same kind of kid who thinks the alphabet goes why? By the way, did any of you guys ever see the footage for the SNES and Genesis version of this book? No. If you thought the Game Boy version was horrifying enough, I don't think we'll be able to cope with some of these posters from back in the day. Well, that was horrible, wasn't it? I suppose it's like on to the next game we're going to be looking. It's another Toy Story game at least, so maybe it'll be a lot better. We'll see. Get ready, everybody. Toy Story. On the sizzle. The sizzle. Oh, I don't remember the sizzle. It's a classic. No, it's not an overweight calculator. It's a video game system. And my god, is it a video game system? First off, it's called a sizzle. That's not a game console. That's what a sausage does in a frying pan. Secondly, who designed this plastic shell? And thirdly, where is the demon that they summoned after they designed it? Buzz looks like a burn victim, and Woody looks like he just survived Chernobyl. And this would be bad enough. But then you turn them around and look at them from the side.
What the heck is going on? Why are we trying to go to Ireland? It says Ireland.
And these ugly skin drafts attached to this bulky chunk of plastic is not where the horror ends, because you turn the thing on and it speaks. And oh boy, does it speak. On this so-called sizzle, you get a total of 5 missions to play, while holding the system with your left finger poking into Buzz's armpit. And as for Woody, we don't talk about Woody. And this is what the missions are. Mission 1, you move left and right to catch aliens. Mission 2, you press one button to do a jump every so often. Mission 3, you hold left and right while hitting 2 buttons to do high and low attacks against other toys flying towards you. Easily the most challenging and mechanically complex game on the Sizzle. Mission 4, you move left and right across a busy road while avoiding cars. And Mission 5, the saddest thing I've ever seen, all you do is scroll through 4 things you can make Buzz do and press a button to make him do them. You can put his helmet on and take it off, fire his laser, open up his wings, and make him talk. This mission clearly only exists for those poor saps of kids that weren't lucky enough to get an actual Buzz Lightyear toy back in the day. This was their substitute. Don't worry kids, you don't need any of this. You've got the Sizzle. It's basically the same thing. Oh! You do that! Oh! Well, you know what? This was worse. Okay, then hopefully I can feel a bit better after I revisit a game I replayed countless times as a kid. Monsters Inc. Scare Island on the PS2. This is, in fact, the same game as the PS1 Monsters Inc. game that I know a load of people played when they were younger. I think it was called Scream Team. But to be honest, I never played that one, and I didn't even know it had a PS1 version until I got a demo disc for it long after I finished the PS2 version. It's the same game essentially, it just looks better and runs smoother. But better graphics or not, God help me, it doesn't do much for Scare Island. Waternoose looks like a raisin, and Sully here has more teeth than face. Welcome to Monsters Inc. Onto the training mode then, and who do I pick? Well, based entirely on the way that they walk, I'm not a fan of Sully's extending, stretching neck, so I guess I'm gonna have to pick mine. I think I made the wrong choice. I wonder what happens if you pick Sully. Hey, I'm a monster! Oh, you are? I didn't notice. This training mode sucks. No other word for it. I get that it's a tutorial to ease younger players into the game, but this goes on for way too long, since each room of the stage goes over every individual move you have. There's a room for jumping, and a separate room for double. In every single room, you get to listen to Roz talk at you, and after a while, she starts to sound like a massive squeeze. So we get out of the training mode and into the actual stages, which are free roaming 3D environments with sub-areas you need to unlock and edges you can't cross. The game itself is kind of like a Mario 64 collectathon mixed with Ape Escape, but for babies. You run and jump around, attack enemies, and collect this stuff called ooze in order to fill up a meat. After you've filled it up enough, you then go on the hunt to catch these robot children. And if they're the same colour as the meter point that you filled up to with the ooze, you can adequately scare them. Scare enough of them, and you clear the level. Well done. Unlike Ape Escape, though, where searching for these escaping targets and catching them is fast-paced, reaction-heavy, there's usually platforming or puzzle-solving to get around, and it takes one swipe to grab them afterwards as a nice payoff. Monsters Inc. instead just places the kids everywhere in not very difficult locations, and then forces you into a button-mashing, scary game every single time you find one of these things. And the higher colour level they are, the more button mashing you have to do. This gets immensely tiring insanely quickly. There's nothing fun about this, and not rewarding even slightly for finding these things in the first place, because you don't just get to pat yourself on the back and move on like an Ape Escape. You have to stop dead in your tracks and run. To be fair though, it is funny once or twice to see some of the final scaring animations. In fact, while we're here, was I the only person in the world that thought it was completely backwards in the movie that Sully was considered the scary one and Mike was considered the funny one? This thing is freakish. Why aren't kids scared of him? Look at him. The worst that Sully can do in this game is... Okay, fair enough, he's pretty scary. The facial animations aren't the only things I'm not too sure about on the production value, though. It's all over the place throughout the game. Check out these water physics. It looks like they're trying to escape the game. Sometimes the models look absolutely fine, and sometimes they make me want to off myself. They also make the same victory animations for monsters.
Oh, man.
game, which is fine, but these animations are in sync with one specific line of dialogue, and the characters say different lines for different medals. So where this is perfectly fine, not bad for a guy with this just looks dumb. I'm sorry, how does it go? For a nice bit of replayability, as you go through the game, you unlock more tools to use to access areas you couldn't get to before. And if you quit a level, thankfully, the amount of ooze and other collectibles you got on the level is stored, making the dash towards the final collectibles children to scare much easier.
Whoa.
And check this out, you even get to race Randall as a makeshift boss battle, and these bits are really fun, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you're more of a challenge than I thought.
Yeah? Well, you're more tooth than I thought. I'm getting restless now. I want to go outside. The weather's lovely out there. I can imagine what I could do. I could run through the hills, or support for whatever matters in your life.
Alright, let's just look at this new event.
Ryan, can you tell why we're sure to do that?
Uh-oh.
What did I eat last night?
Tell me.
You're not wearing mine. Slimy cat, slimy. Can you please calm down? I need to. What do you want me to do? Well, I want you. Please, anything will do anything. I'm just want to. Oh, on you. Please, anything will do anything. I'm just want to. Want me to do? Well, I want you. Please, anything will do.
Okay, so the new event called Tiles. Tiles. A new brings PvP. Same event would be others, while others have fixed events. Okay, fixed events. That's kind of cool. So you earn points, and I might say this new event, Tiles, wherever it could be, I really hope this will be awesome. And you can unlock some prizes. Ooh, I love the word prizes. It's like, yeah, I love the word prizes. That's a cool name, prizes. This is actually a pretty cool event. The Tiles. Yeah, it's similar to DuckTales. Maybe I could probably have this event in the other seasons. So maybe if this new event does well, this might be turning a lot of time. But I don't know. It takes a long time. I don't know how long we have to wait for this new event because there's so many characters that want to look badly. Because we have to wait. So like,
oh no, the kite turns.
Some limited events can be something easier. Well,
this visual design is very appealing.
So
this was made by Traveler's Tales, so there have been
limited events Tiles. Okay.
And the first level of this game is going to school.
Gee whiz, Papa Bear!
The start the game with this game is going to school.
Gee whiz, Papa Bear!
We start the game off with a cutscene from the movie featuring a child physically assaulting his father. Oh, and then we get to swim around like nothing ever happened. It's horrible scene. Why don't you try to swim through all those rings of bubbles on the way? My dad asking me that. You get to see the two main types of gameplay here: side-scrolling linear segments with a few side paths to explore, and on-range swimming segments with obstacles to avoid. We aren't given much time in these parts though before we're introduced to some more characters.
Hi, I'm Chad. I'm obnoxious.
Hey there, Nemo. Nice to meet you. I'm a twat. This game takes you through the events of the movie in a style very similar to the underwater segments from Crash 3. In fact, finding Nemo in this sense might be like
You're dirty, Shirley.
except doesn't let me kick my dog. Luckily, this is 10 times better in terms of controls and mechanics. And finding Nemo doesn't try to a million different gameplay styles at once, making it more focused, easier to understand, and way more enjoyable. presentation, though, is the best bit. There's all these neat attentions to detail, like being able to dive out of the surface of the water, which serves no purpose whatsoever, but you can just do it if you want to. And the character animations in general are pretty great, especially when you're pulling a certain length, although I don't like it when Marlene tries to kiss me. I'm not a fan of that. These good visuals, though, come at a cost, a high cost, like 15. This is one of the worst performing games I think I've ever seen. I chose Shrek Next to Life. I swear I can hear the GameCube, and I played Shrek Next to Life. I swear I can hear the GameCube practically catching fire trying to run this. If we aren't careful, the vision here might trip over and we can have it with chips. Look at this shit, it's terrible. The music though, it's really good. In fact, for a level about during school, it's surprisingly epic.
It's not a privilege. No, it's influence. The heart of that is bound for a little.
Introducing our versatile clutch cocktail, simply strap, strap, and strap, all in one direction.
This almost makes me want to learn. Don't ever say that to me. Each level I have two different missions without getting to the end, similar to how the Bugs Life on PS1 has been done. And look at that, it's the same developers, aren't they? I have severe panic anxiety. Some of these missions are collectathon related, some are based around finishing mini-games a certain way, like winning a race or something, and whenever you complete them, they all end like this. I mean, in comparison to other Disney Travelers Tales games, this is way too simple. This isn't easy and interesting. But it isn't the worst thing ever. I just wish it ran better. Or should I say, swam better.
Hey guys, my name's Damien. Have a good tonight.
The control's good, it looks good, sounds like it's incredible for missions that are so mundane, but I can't do it. This performance is worse than the last time I was in bed. It makes most of what they do practically unplayable, so I think I'll end things up with a glitch where I end up with a starfish by dying.
What you do?
Oh, did it? You know what I've been doing a lot during lockdown? Sleeping. And while I'm sleeping, I have nightmares. Nightmares about smacked and what's the doing? I've got that to work in the stuff. Well, with ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is a service that encrypts and protects your online data to keep you completely safe whenever you browse, shop, or games online. It's one that I've been using for as long as I can remember. Not only for creating a barrier between myself and malicious people trying to get access to my information, but for unlocking rooms and locked videos on YouTube, Netflix, and countless other stuff. Because you know that I live in Venezuela. Well, you don't, but you can use ExpressVPN to pretend that you do. Your IP address is then safe, your passwords are safe, and your wallet.
We're still waiting for the new event.
And you can find out how to get 3 lots of this incredible service. Free, yes, it's free. You can pretend that you're in freezing cold Canada for 3 months. Actually, speaking of freezing cold, kids, I found dinner. How did these get in here? This year is The Incredibles on the Xbox and Game Boy Advance, 2 more games from my childhood, both of which were published by Thick, and games which I poured hours into. I was obsessed with them. In fact, I was also obsessed with the movie. I was 10 years old when it came out, and as a huge fan of Spider-Man, I hadn't seen a related superhero like this before. It captivated me. Remember Buddy? Yeah, that was me, but with a movie. And not a man shaped like a pizza slice. And when it comes to Incredibles games, let's start with the GBA version. I never actually owned this one until recent, because back in the day I borrowed it from my cousin multiple times and finished it over and over again while my sister had this Monsters Inc. game on GBA that I barely ever played. Was that any good? Please let me know in the comments, and I won't read it. The Incredibles on GBA is a 3D beat-em-up with 2D graphics that are pretty damn stylish, you'll think to consider. But if you want to consider all things, you'll quickly notice how shallow, empty, repetitive and bland this game is at its rotten little apple core. You have special moves, you can dash, you can jump attack, you have combos, but none of this means anything when your approach to every single situation is the same over and over again. The which is then topped off by challenges being copied and pasted exactly the same over and over again. By the way, these guns, yeah, they're not fun to deal with. They can get stuck. Hang on, what is this old woman doing hanging out on the roof of a skyscraper? Oh, what's that? This guy's going to jump to his death? Well, if this face was coming at me, I'd want to jump too. Incredibles on the GBA is distraction at best and boring at worst. You can't even save a progress, you can only use passwords. Yes, in 2004, this is pretty pathetic.
Zoe.
Wait. How did they get away with that as a password? And now we're on to the Xbox version. Clearly and obviously the better game between the two. And the one that I spent the most time on as a young. You get to do all the things the superheroes do, like beat up bad guys, roll around in a force field ball at 1,000,000 miles an hour to knock down guards and solve physics puzzles, turn invisible, try to get sticky bombs off of capes without actually trying to get the sticky bombs off of capes, race the school bus to school in the middle of broad daylight when you're supposed to be hidden under cover, save all of the civilians that look like ducks, and get to the scene of the crime just in time for your chin to save the day. Just like the GBA version, this is a beat-em-up game, but just way more varied, interesting, explorative, and there's more powers to use.
Hey, what's this thing doing here?
It's on the Xbox, look. You also get to crush people under steel girders, and it keeps the game looks pretty good for an Xbox.
Hey, buddy, I don't know who you are or where you came from, but you can't just come in here and...
And for some reason, there are quite a lot of graphical oddities and
If there was a way to leave, I'm pretty sure we'd have all
metal nipples.
Yeah, what are you talking? WWE wrestlers you didn't know wrestled each
That's
other
great.
Part 5.
Choose your
March
strength.
2007, CM Punk
That's
faced
great.
King Booker. Rolled him up to win. January 2010, Batista faced R-Truth in a beat pong challenge. Batista hit Truth with a spear with 50 seconds to go, hit him with a spine buster, hit him with the Batista bomb with 10 seconds remaining, went for the pin, Rey Mysterio dragged the ref outside at the time expired. July 2002, Brock Lesnar issued a open challenge and Ric Flair accepted.
Oh,
Hey,
I
destructive.
know what's on the other side. Your husband's deconstructed face.
2019, Rusev
This is the
challenged
greatest
Bobby
graphic
Lashley to
bug
a
I've
match.
ever
Lashley was
seen. It's
injured and he
absolutely
wasn't medically cleared. Then
Not
Drew
only does the
McIntyre
wall
came out
dress
to
up
face
as
Rusev.
incredible,
They were fighting
but all
outside
it
and
does,
Lashley hit
even the
Rusev
entire
with a crutch,
skyscraper
ending in a
look
DQ.
at
In March
this. Remember
2018, John
Incredibles
Cena was
is
talking
not
about
exactly
WrestleMania.
those as much as I
Goldust
love this game
interrupted
as
and
it's
challenged
got,
him to a match.
especially
Goldust hit
that
Cena with a low
rolling
blow
stage.
when the ref was
It
not
can be
looking and
pretty
he kicked
violent.
out. Then Cena hit him with the
Combat
5-knuckle
is
shuffle and
special
followed by
and
the
there's
AA
way
to
too many
win the
group
match.
enemy encounters that require
WWE wrestlers you
standing
didn't
around
know
and
wrestled
waiting
each
for
other.
more waves to appear before you can move on. And with instances like these battle tank
WWE
mini
wrestlers
bosses,
you didn't
the amount
know.
of waiting you have to do just to get an attempt to hit the 1 time out of 3 is agonizing. But it's okay, because with the cheat code SAS mode, you can jack up the speed of the game to 300% and make it utterly unplayable. But at least waiting isn't a problem anymore. Speaking of speed, the best bit of the game will always be the fact that you can control a speeding child and get run over by cars. I did it. Average speed 147 miles per hour. I ran for 13 miles and I burned 187 calories. I did all of this and burned off the same amount of calories as Kindle. Exercise for life. But don't need your feet just yet. You can run into that moving truck anytime you want, because right now we haven't even
Peggy 16.
the cream. Did you know that before the Incredibles 2 movie released in 2018, there was another Incredibles 2 that was actually treated like the official canonical sequel to the original movie called Rise of the Underminer for the Xbox. Look, I personally love the movie, but no matter how you felt about the sequel that we eventually got, I think Dog Sick would have been better than this game. But hey, at least we get to play as Brozone this time, which is great.
Entering in
Finally,
the red booster.
so this is a two-player long easy beat-em-up once again, with the single-player mode allowing you to switch characters whenever you want. And the first level of this game shows you absolutely everything you are going to be seeing and doing for the next 4 hours. Production-wise, or gameplay-wise, it's all spread on you right here like an invasive swab test in the first stage, and it never gets any better or changes even remotely as it goes on. You hit robots in brown and grey tunnels with basic attacks and occasional special attacks, you hit robots in brown and grey tunnels with basic attacks and occasional special attacks, and you hit robots in brown and grey tunnels with basic attacks and occasional special attacks. Sorry to be redundant just to make a point, but this game doesn't seem to have a point, so I'm making up any point that I can. Just look at this. This is level 1, and the most impressive the visuals get. And even then, it still completely ignores the laws of sound. Screaming thunders! You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to apologise to Crash of the Titans. I'm sorry. I thought that you were the most mind-numbing and tedious button masher I've ever played. But this This is a stain in the pants of God. Sure, the basics of the game are the same as the first Incredibles, running, jumping, and attacking, but in comparison,
WWE wrestlers who challenged on the WWE title only once, Part 3, June 2005, Muhammad Hassan faced John Cena for the title. Cena hit Muhammad with a 5-ball shuffle, followed by the effort to retain the title. At Night of Champions 2015, Sting